My name is Patrick Perry, and I am a field research technician for the Kentucky Tobacco Research and Development Center, and I'm involved in the Industrial Hemp Research Program here at the University of Kentucky, along with several other people I would like to mention real quick. Our team members include Cameron Shelton, who's also a research technician with the Kentucky Tobacco Research and Development Center, Tom Keene, who's our new hemp extension research specialist, Ben Goff, who's a Forges professor, he's over there, raise your hand. Bob Pearce, I don't know if he's around here, but he's a tobacco extension specialist, but he's also starting to help out with the industrial hemp program. Leah Black, I don't know if she's around here. She's our industrial hemp graduate student. She is now under Dr. Bob Pearce and David Hildebrand, I believe, and she's bobbing around here somewhere. She's the first one, I believe, around here in the state to be a hemp graduate student. Carol Stringer is around here somewhere. Carol, I don't know where you're at, but you're also a graduate student under Ben Goff, and she has started in the past year or so with her hemp research. And then I would also like to acknowledge Mark Sizemore, who's bobbing around here somewhere, who's also works for the Kentucky Tobacco Research and Development Center as a farm research technician as well. So getting off to the start, we're kind of running on a tight schedule, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce one of the founders of this research program, Dr. David Williams. He's right over here. David Williams has been a part of the hemp program since its beginning, and he's going to give a little bit of background and some acknowledgments for the people of the program. So I'm going to turn it over to David. David Williams.
Thanks, Patrick, very much. Patrick's already noted that we've had some transitions in the program this year, and I would offer so far very positive. But I've accepted a new role into college working at the Quicksand Station in Eastern Kentucky, and have a great contingency of staff from that station here this morning. I suppose really what I want to do mostly is note the fact that the second half of the original hemp program, Rich Mundell, the co-principal investigator, didn't take a new position like I did. He decided to retire and pursue some other opportunities. So I would like to note, at least in my opinion, that both the university and the industry of all of those here today certainly owe Rich some gratitude for all that he's contributed to the program. I've known Rich for, I think, 25 years now. He is extremely intelligent, very resourceful, also very creative, and he's a 900-mile-an-hour guy. He's straight, full speed ahead, get it done, and his contributions to the industry in Kentucky, I would offer, are probably immeasurable. They're just huge. So I know UK owes him gratitude, and I also feel like the entire industry owes him gratitude for what he contributed to this research program from 2014 until just this past July. So I'll ask if you're willing to join me in thanking Rich. He's standing back there. In my opinion, I know for sure the program, but I think even the industry would not be what it is today without the contributions Rich has made. So I thank you personally as a friend, and definitely going to miss you like crazy. So thank you, Patrick, for the opportunity.
Thank you, David, and also I'd like to personally thank Rich, too, for teaching me everything you know in that short amount of time you did while I rolled in. Up next, we're going to have an update from the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, and we're actually excited to have our Ag Commissioner, Commissioner Ron Quarles, with us today. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to Commissioner Quarles.
Thank you, and good morning. And this is one of several jam-packed hemp-related field days across Kentucky this year, and it reflects the continued interest and growing enthusiasm for a crop that connects Kentucky's past to its future. As you drive around this research farm, there's actually hemp structures in this vicinity, and we farm just up the road here. And my great-grandfather grew industrial hemp because the military asked him to. A lot of us have a connection with hemp in this state, and it's been growing well here since the days of Henry Clay. And I'm excited that we can add industrial hemp to the portfolio of alternative crops that the Department of Agriculture is investigating right now. Not only are we continuing the research of industrial hemp, We're also looking at hops production as well for beer production. And we're also starting to have conversations about CNAF as well, another fibrous plant that doesn't have the legal issues that industrial hemp has as well. But this year is the largest research year for us. This is year number 3. The first year we had about 30 acres planted across Kentucky. Last year, a little over 900. And this year, we are expecting as many as 4,000 acres of industrial hemp spread out across the state with 181 program participants. 137 of those are farmers. And the importance of making sure that this industry is viable if and when Congress decides to decouple it from its cousin is the emphasis on processors in our state. There are some processors here. I encourage you to get to know them. We have 44 processors right now. And if we want to make Kentucky the epicenter of industrial hemp, we need to make sure that we attract folks to take that raw material out of the field, whether it's for fiber, seed, or CBD production, and make sure it's being processed here as well, because we view this crop no differently than a business trying to expand, or Toyota up the road adding a Lexus division. We view this as economic development, because if we can get more farmers growing it, if we can have processors locating in the state, that's more jobs for Kentuckians, and it's more money that stays in the local economy. So we are very blessed to have dedicated staff at the Department of Agriculture. We have the hemp team over here. Thank you for what you do. We cannot thank you enough for the long hours that you all put in every day. So I'd like to say thank you to our staff, Department of Agriculture, for making industrial hemp a reality today. Thank you, Doris and the team. And I'll close with this. If we can be of any help to you, Department of Agriculture, whether it's with industrial hemp or other agricultural concerns, please do not hesitate to contact us. And I would be a bad agriculture advocate if I didn't mention the Kentucky State Fair starts next week, August 18th to the 28th. Reba is coming. Please make an effort to come to Louisville, and we will have hemp materials there to try to continue the education component of educating folks about a crop that we need to be viewing as a commodity in this state, and one that I think that has a very bright future ahead of it. So thank you very much, and please don't hesitate to contact us if we can be of any help to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Quarles. Up next, we also have Doris Hamilton, who is the scent savior of our program as far as getting seed and everything imported. She keeps a tight ship, and she keeps everything running. I personally was one relationship I don't want to mess up. So up next, we have Doris Hamilton.
Thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here today to share with you just a brief update from the department. The commissioner has done a wonderful job of kind of outlining the big picture. I think I'm here to give a few more details. You noticed me looking around as if I was missing the other half when he was introducing the hemp staff, and I was. So the first thing that I'll do is introduce my right hand, Michelle Shane. Wave to your fans, Michelle. We couldn't do what we do in the hemp program without Michelle. Not with us here today is Brent Burgett. He's our division director, and he is also an integral part of the program there at KDA. So as the commissioner mentioned, we did start in 2014. That beginning was called the Farm Bill. So once that was signed into law, we jumped in with both feet here in Kentucky. So I think it shows, because 3 years later, we are still one of the leading states in the country, and I dare say the leading state in the country. So give yourself a hand. In 2014, we did have about 30 acres of production. That has expanded dramatically in 2015. As the commissioner said, a little over 900 acres planted. We learned a lot in 2015. One of the things we learned is that just because you plant industrial hemp does not mean you're going to harvest it. There are a lot of production problems. There are a lot of challenges out there. And what we're doing here now, what we've been doing for the last 3 years, is determining what those challenges are and trying to find out how to overcome those challenges. Back the last time it was grown in Kentucky during World War II, it was a fiber crop. We've lost those folks that grew it back then there's not many of them here to tell us how they did it back then. Now we're learning from Europe, we're learning from Canada, we're growing a grain crop. Oddly enough, and this may surprise many of you, this year's production is 60% production for the purpose of CBDs. So that is the primary cannabinoid that the industry is isolating that is believed to have health and wellness benefits. So what we thought was going to be a primary grain, secondary fiber crop has now, in a short 3 years, become primarily a cannabinoid crop, but we're also very strong in grain and fiber as well. So it's a very diverse crop. We hope one day it's going to be a very important crop for Kentucky farmers. And this program will help us answer some of those questions, help us be prepared when it does become legal on the federal level to grow it like any other agricultural crop. So I think one of the things that they primarily wanted me to touch on this morning was, how do we run the program? How can you have an opportunity to actually participate? So we do take applications once a year. The past 2 years that has been, those dates have changed a bit. As this program continues to grow by leaps and bounds, that will necessitate additional changes. All of those changes are done for the betterment of the program and for your all's benefit and for the industry's benefit. So this year we do expect applications to be accepted in October. We don't have an exact date on that yet, but watch for it in October. If you're not on our contact list, please see me or Michelle at the table over there and make sure that you get your email to us. When those applications become available, we'll send them directly to you. We did have nearly 140 private producers in the program this year. In addition, we had 9 different colleges and universities completing a total of more than 16 different projects. So without the university's help, none of this would be where we are today. So we can't thank them enough. There's several universities represented here today. So in addition to needing to thank the University of Kentucky, all those other collaborative partners on the university side, we owe a great deal of gratitude to as well. So anybody have questions? You can see me or Michelle at any time today with specific questions about the application process.
You have a question, sir?
Yeah, first, are any universities engaged in medical marijuana research projects?
His question was, are any of the universities engaged in medical marijuana research? So nothing in Kentucky is moving forward on anything called medical marijuana. Some people confuse the term medical marijuana with some of the compounds that can also be found in industrial hemp. So nothing termed marijuana is being researched in Kentucky that I'm aware of. Everything must meet the definition of industrial hemp, which according to the Farm Bill, it is defined as less than or not more than 0.3% THC. So no marijuana production or research that I'm aware of at all. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Doris. Up next, we're going to have a hemp disease research update. So in the up and comings of the research here at UK, we've expanded into hemp disease research. And I'm probably going to butcher her last name like everybody does because she has it pronounced under her email signature. But Dr. Nicole Gauthier. All right, Dr. Nicole Gauthier right here. Thank you very much.
All right, so I'm going to give a quick disease research update. For those of you who don't know me, I am an extension specialist in the Department of Plant Pathology. My disease team is somewhere in the back. They're the ones smiling when you talk diseases. So yeah, there they are back there. So as an extension specialist, I started out, I respond to calls from growers, calls from county agents, and that's how I got involved in this crop in the first place. So a lot of times when I got the call, it was probably one of 3 diseases. We had a lot of powdery mildew in greenhouse production, And we have a new disease out there that I'll talk about just a little bit, and also Pythium root rot, which you're seeing a lot in those transitions from tobacco systems. You're seeing anything that's water related, we're seeing a lot of Pythium. So those are our three big diseases. We see other diseases as well. So I'll start really quickly. So my undergraduate students in the back have a poster on some powdery mildew work. Powdery mildew is the #1 disease in greenhouse production. And we're seeing sometimes greenhouse production as at the seedling or cutting stage before plants are moved out to the field, and some people are actually growing in greenhouses. So we've done some variety screening, and we're about to start working on some fungicide trials, not just synthetic fungicides, which were not labeled for use in Kentucky, but we're looking at some 24C labeling. I've been in touch with Syngenta, in fact, last week. So also we're looking at some biologicals and some of the botanicals and some other things. So that is going on right now. Secondly, we have found a new disease here in Kentucky. I think we have it on the East Coast as well. It's a brand new disease. It's a new genus, new species. It doesn't have a name yet. We get to name it, and I don't even know how that's done. There are taxonomic rules, so I'm sure they won't let us be as creative as we want to be. But anyway, we have a new disease on field-produced hemp. It started 3 years ago in Jackson County. We found it last year in 2 different fields in Clark County. And I know I received word from Pulaski County yesterday, decimating fields. So this looks like something that's going to move, and it's moving pretty quickly. We were just talking to the KSU group, where are they? And they said they've seen it there too. So my plug today is if you see leaf spot diseases or any kind of leaf diseases, to please contact us, because we really want to track this thing. We don't know where it's coming from. We don't know what's going on. So it's brand new to us. Quite the challenge, and it's not our only crop, so we're trying to work on it as we go. So it was not in Bowling Green, by the way, so I guess that's good. I'm not sure if you got something else. So anyway, that's disease number 2, and disease number 3 that we're really that I'm working a lot with growers, no research, is Pythium root rot. And Pythium is a water mold. It's not a true fungus, so it's moving. It likes water, so we call it a water mold for a reason. It loves water, and a lot of these tobacco systems, as you're transitioning to them, a lot of that water is, if Pythium comes in, it's really taking a hold. Pythium is a major disease in tobacco float systems. So anybody who's reusing those trays, really transferring a lot of that Pythium in there. So we're doing some collections. We want to know, but unfortunately, we're using sanitation and cultural practices. There's no other way to manage it. So right now, I'm working with David Wayne to get some 24C emergency fungicide labeling, and I'm working with Syngenta on a couple of products. So I'm aiming for a powdery mildew, that leaf spot that we're working on. Hopefully we can catch one fungicide to tackle both of those, and then to something for Pythium. So hopefully we can do that. But anyway, any questions on disease management? We're always happy to talk. Justin and Angelina in the back with their poster. If you go talk to them, they've got some handouts too for you to take home. And also I'm going to plug our websites. So find us online, www.kyhempdisease.com. And a lot of our research results, we're putting them on there slowly. I see, yes?
Some of the fungicide treatments you're going to be working for, will these work in the organic fields for CBD production as well as in greenhouses and for organic production?
So his question was, are some of the fungicides we're working with, are they going to be certified for organic production? So we're working with some synthetic products that are not labeled yet. We're working on some organic products, some of the coppers, etc., and we're working on some of the botanicals. And those biologicals are usually have some pretty blanket labels. So we're looking at efficacy. And yes, that's right. Someone gave us bee propolis the other day and told us that was really effective. So I don't know. So we're trying a lot of things. I think we have 16 or 18 products now, Justin, that he's going to be screening. So if you never see Justin again, he's like locked in the greenhouse somewhere doing this screening. But yes, there will be some organic products. So we want to compare apples to apples. There are a lot of hearsay, so we want to compare them to each other. Any other questions? Yes.
Disease number 2, are you seeing that transfer to other plants, to other varieties?
Okay, so our new disease, we need to name this thing at least temporarily, but we have not seen it in any other plants. We have sampled in hemp fields. We've sampled grasses and vines and sapling trees. We've looked at everything we can grab, and we're not finding it on anything else. So we don't know. We just don't know right now. We can't figure out how it's moving. We don't know if it's been around, if it's on something else. It pretty much starts about mid-July, early mid-July. It'll start on the lower leaves, and it looks like it's moving up. We don't know about susceptibility. So I haven't seen enough of it. When it's there, it will completely devastate a field, completely devastate. And it spread pretty widely, and that's the surprising thing. But we don't know what it's moving back and forth from. I know in the lab, Bernadette, wherever she went, Bernadette is producing spores. She inoculates corn, and it produces spores on corn. So it's related to the bipolaris, which is the causal agent of northern corn leaf blight. So it's closely related to that, but that's not what it is. But we are inoculating corn. So we don't know. I have a lot more questions than answers. That's why I would love to sample some fields. If anybody has a leaf spot problem, you can even just text me a picture to get going, and we would love to accept samples. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Up next, we're going to have our new hemp extension specialist, Tom Keene. He's going to be coming up and talking a little bit about some extension updates. Tom joined the task force here about 2 months ago, just about like I did. So he's been new to this, and he's been getting out and learning about as much as he can. So he knows a lot more than he did 2 months ago. But here he is, Tom Keene.
Thank you, Patrick. Great honor for me to be here today. And as Patrick said, it's been a steep learning curve for me, I promise you. When Dr. Williams approached me about working with hemp, I was glad to do it. I was excited because it's a new opportunity. I think it's a new opportunity for Kentucky farmers. But before I say anything about our extension roles and that type of thing, I would be remiss if we did not, as a group, thank Dr. David Williams for all that he's done for this program. When hemp came on the scene again back in 2014, he stepped up to the plate. He grabbed a hold of this program, and he's led it to where it is today. Again, it's leading the country in hemp research and hemp extension and those type of things. And I know he mentioned Rich and some of the other team, but I would be remiss if we didn't give him a great big thank you. He has led the way, and now it's our job to pick up and carry on what he and Rich and others have started. So that's our goal. I will tell you that this is a collaborative effort on a large scale. And the more I get into this and the more I learn about this, the more I realize that we would not have the program we have today if first and foremost it wasn't for KDA. Commissioner Quarles and Doris have done a great job. They don't have a lot of funding for this, but they have really grabbed this, they administer it, and they just do a fantastic job. So I'd like to again thank them for all their hard work. My main component is going to be extension in the hemp program, and that's getting out into the counties and doing meetings and bringing research information to farmers and that type of thing. So I'm really excited about that opportunity, but again, it is a group effort. And I must tell you that I would ask for your patience because we're just 3 years into this program. And when you look across these fields, these research fields, and you see corn and tobacco and soybeans and other crops, we've been researching these crops for 50, 60, 70, 100 years. We're in our second year of full research here. We started in 2014. We had out 30 acres thereabouts, and that's continually grown. So we are just now starting on this, okay? So be patient with us. We've got a lot of good trials out that you're going to see today as you go on these tours. We hope that you'll avail yourself of all these. We're going to have rotations. I know Patrick will discuss that in a little bit. But if there's any way that we can help you on behalf of the College of Agriculture, Food and Environment, come to a meeting, a county meeting, a field day, or anything like that, we stand at the ready to do that, to bring what resources we have, and to continue to bring you the research that we have here on the farm and in the lab and so forth. We want to make that available to you and to all the farmers here in Kentucky. So be patient with us. Let us know how we can help you, and we'll continue to go down this road together and make this hemp a commodity that farmers can utilize and put money in their pocket. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Tom. Up next, we've got a representative from the Kentucky Hemp Industries Association. His name is Josh Hendricks. He's also involved with CV Sciences, who's one of our sponsors today. We'll get into sponsored acknowledgments later, but without further ado, I got Josh Hendricks.
Thank you. I'm going to be brief, and then I'm going to introduce the new president, but my name is Josh Hendricks. I'm the founder of the Kentucky Hemp Industries Association. I'm also lucky enough to say that I'm a licensed producer here in the state of Kentucky on my farm in Mount Sterling. And I also am the director of business development for CV Sciences. And all of those people that I am, all those hats I wear, is very proud to be a supporter of the research here at UK. The Kentucky Hemp Industries Association was lucky enough to raise money at the spring seminar, which we'll be hosting annually, February, March, somewhere in there. We'll get dates out on our website soon, but raise funds to give to UK to support their research, as was our current president's company, Trey Riddle and Sunstrand, and then CV Sciences sponsors the graduate student, Leah Black, here, which you'll see some of her research today. But as everybody's touched on, the stuff going on at these universities here at UK, Western, Kentucky State, all the schools participating, is perhaps the most important part of this industry right now. What these schools are doing is going to be research that's open to the public and really help build the infrastructure for this industry. So let's give everybody another round of applause that's involved in the universities, the KDA, all these things. I'm speaking on behalf of the Kentucky Hemp Industries Association, and I'd be remiss if I didn't plug that we're the state chapter of the National Hemp Industry Association. And when you join the HIA and you pick our state chapter, you actually get the benefits of being a member of both. One of those benefits would be that they're going to have their conference this year, which was actually here in Lexington last year. It's going to be in Denver on September 18th through the 20th. I encourage everybody to join the association, support the industry from the ground up, and really get involved. I mean, we're trying to make Kentucky the hemp state, and the more support these universities can have, these associations, the Research Foundation, the better it is for everybody. So with that, I'm going to introduce Trey Riddle. He's our new president. He got the lucky job of replacing me after I started this organization, tried to really get it going. But Trey Riddle's with Sunstrand, again, one of the supporters of today, and he's going to talk a little bit about his sponsorship of UK and what the Hemp Industry Association does.
Big shoes to fill. I don't want to be remiss either. So I'd just point out that, as Josh mentioned, we're part of the national chapter of the HIA. And Eric Steenstra, please raise your hand. Eric Steenstra is the executive director of the HIA, and I encourage you to grab him and talk to him a little bit about the larger network of the hemp industry in the country. Josh and I could certainly speak at a state level of what's going on here, but he obviously has a better insight into the whole network. The bottom line, and I'm wearing two hats, just like Josh as president of the KYHIA and then also as CEO of Sunstrand. As far as the HIA is concerned, right now our mission is really all about education, both at the consumer level to help the typical layperson understand what hemp is and what it can do, but then also at an industry level to help farmers, producers and processors and upstream manufacturers understand the utility of this crop as well. And I think that's where we're really fortunate to have UK and the rest of the universities helping us with that research. I'm not sure exactly what you're going to see here today, but I do know that there's a wide variety of research going on that touches pretty much all of the potential industries that hemp can accommodate. And so I think you'll see a good smattering of that. And as far as the HIA is concerned, that's of course what we want to promote, is a broad spectrum to really understand each nuance of the plant. As my other hat, as Sunstrand, we are a straw processor, so we process for fiber and the inner woody core or the hurd. And it's unfortunate, but we have sponsored some research here as well. You won't see it today because the plots are too big. We're doing large-scale plots at another farm in Woodford County. I think we're doing about 28 acres over there. We're doing a variety of things. We're looking at a couple different harvesting techniques. We're looking at dual purpose cropping. We're looking at some different nitrogen rates. And also we're comparing CNAF to hemp for some different yield and quality purposes as well. We do quite a bit with CNAF. But even though you won't see that, I think you can reach out to Patrick and Cameron. That data will be available in some format from the university. That's all public information. So I guess there's more to come later in that regard, and I encourage you to look at that. We're happy that that can be shared with everybody. So great program here. Like everybody else, Dave and Rich wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much. Doris, running a tight ship. Nice work. Keep it up. And y'all have a good day today.